Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our session to Find, Try, Buy Solutions in Azure Marketplace. My name is Alma Quatin, and I'll be joined by my colleague, Shai Sand, who will talk to you about Azure Marketplace. The way we do business is changing. A lot of business buyers are looking to e-commerce and the internet to do research and gather information before creating a purchase online. In the last couple of weeks, we experienced an average revenue weekly growth rate of 52% and 8.8% increase of conversion sales. This means that a lot of you are going to the internet to find and try and do research on solutions that will be best for your business. So what does Marketplace let you do? A couple of things. First is find and try confidently. You can search over 19,000 apps in different categories and workloads, and of course, it's always on. Second, you can buy and deploy seamlessly. You have flexible options in terms of purchasing, free trials, per VM, per user, across over 7,000 offers. And it comes on a single bill from Microsoft and for third-party solutions. And of course, last but not least, you can be agile and scale quickly. This helps you maximize your return on investment by using existing applications that are already pre-built that saves you time and saves you money. How can you find, try, and buy these applications? So depending on what type of application you're looking for, you'll find it in Azure Marketplace or Microsoft AppSource. If it's an industry-focused line of business application or productivity application, you'll find that in Microsoft AppSource. If it's a category and workload building block for Azure, you'll find it in Azure Marketplace. Today, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into Azure Marketplace. Some of the applications that you can find in Azure Marketplace cut across multiple categories and industries, such as IoT, data, migration, security. So instead of me talking about it, let me give you a little demo and show you what it's all about. Once you go to azuremarketplace.com, you can actually browse multiple applications and services. As you can see here, we have featured applications and featured consulting services. We also have some popular app categories that I know customers are urging to get into. So let's browse all of the applications. As you can see on the left navigation, there's a whole bunch of categories that will meet your needs, from analytics to AI and machine learning, down to compute, DevOps, of course, Internet of Things, networking, storage, security. As you click down into each one of these categories, you actually have subcategories like data insights, data analytics, big data. So let's take a look at big data. Once you actually select some of these subcategories, you can then scroll through some offers, or you can use the top toggle to actually search and filter for your results. Here we have trials, so you can find a free software trial or test drive. Think of a test drive as a trial that's in a sandbox environment. You can search by operating system, Linux and Windows, by publisher, whether you're looking for partners or Microsoft applications, pricing model, bring your own license. So if you're an Azure customer and you already have your own subscription, if it's free, if it's pay as you go, and then different product types, whether that's a virtual machine image, solution template, or SaaS. Once I actually click into an offer, it'll bring up a page that gives you detailed plan information, pricing, reviews, and an overview. If it's something that I want to get now, once I click the Get Now button, it'll ask me the types of plans or categories that I want to do. And then once I click Continue, this will actually take me into the Azure Portal that will then complete that process. Once I'm in here, you can either choose to create a preset configuration or actually configure your solution on your own. If I go back to Azure Marketplace, and I want to say, hey, I actually don't know what category, I know exactly what I want to search the marketplace for, I can actually just type in a solution or a application or app that I'm actually looking for. So if I'm looking for Informatica, I can type it up here in the search bar and then go directly to their offer. I'm then able to also click Get Now, and this one is a bring your own license. And then it'll take me directly to the Azure Portal that I just showed you to configure the actual application. All of the applications that are available in Azure Marketplace are also available to you in the Azure Portal, same applications. At this point in time, I'm going to hand it off to my colleague, Shai, who's going to walk you through the experience of Marketplace within the Azure Portal and give you a sneak peek of a feature that is in public preview today. Shai, over to you.
Thank you, Alma. Hey, my name is Shai Sand, and I'm a program manager on the Marketplace engineering team. I'll start with a quick demo of Azure Marketplace within the Azure Portal. Starting with the Azure Portal homepage, we will go into the Marketplace service. Entering the Marketplace, we will see the different offers that are available for deployment. At this point, we can browse through the specific categories that are presented on the left. We can go to the save list, recently created, or the service providers. Inside the Marketplace, we can filter based on the different price tiers. We can filter based on the operating system. And then we can filter based on the publisher between Microsoft as the first party and partners, which are the third party offers. At this point, I will search specifically for an offer I would like to deploy. And once finding the specific offer, I will go with the free trial. Going into the PDP, I can overview the specific offer. I can look at the different plans that are available. And once I choose the specific plan I want to deploy, I can go ahead and create it. Next, I'm extremely excited to share with you a new feature that is currently in public preview and is called Private Azure Marketplace. Private Azure Marketplace is a new tenant-level feature that is built on top of Azure Portal. Private Azure Marketplace gives the IT administrator the power to implement the enterprise policies and govern which non-Microsoft products will be available for deployment by the tenant's user. All Microsoft products will be automatically added to the private marketplace. To start, our adventure begins with accessing the Azure Portal Marketplace service. Since Private Azure Marketplace is a feature designed to be managed by the enterprise IT administrators, we added a new role which is called Marketplace Admin, a role that can be assigned to the user by the tenant global admin. Accessing Marketplace, we can now see a new blade that is on the top left, which is called Private Marketplace. At the moment, the Private Azure Marketplace feature is disabled, and we will head to the Private Marketplace blade to add items and enable the feature. As a user with Marketplace Admin role, next, I will want to add items and will do so by clicking the Add Items button, which will lead me to the public gallery where I can see all the available products from Azure Marketplace. Looking around the Add Items page, we see the familiar filters, blades on the left, search box, private offer in notification, and all the current public gallery products that we can choose from. First new feature that we notice is the blue Allowed badge. Private Azure Marketplace provides us with the capability to manage the deployment of all non-Microsoft offers. To that matter, all Microsoft products will be allowed by default. And the blue Allowed badge indicates a Microsoft product that is allowed. Offers of this kind cannot be managed and the tile will be disabled. Looking at the active tiles, we can see a new drop-down menu. Using the menu, we can now select the specific plan we want and we can allow it in our private marketplace. Now I'll go ahead and add a few items. So I will use the search bar, and once I find the offer I want, I will select it. Just before clicking Done, I will filter out all the selected items to see what I captured. Once I make sure that everything is exactly as I wanted, I will click the Done button. At this point, we are back to the Manage Marketplace, and we can see the list we created for the approved items. We are ready to enable the private marketplace to the users, and we will do so by clicking the Enable Private Marketplace. Right now, as it states in the notification and as the banner indicates, the private marketplace is enabled, and our users are able to deploy the specific plans based on our list. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on this demo. I'm very excited about the new feature, which is the private Azure Marketplace. And now I'm going to hand it back to you, Ama.
Thank you so much, Shai. That was amazing. So with that, what's next? Two things for you. First, you can find, try, and buy applications in Azure Marketplace. If you visit azure.com/marketplace, you'll find them all there. Second, If you want to learn more about private Azure Marketplace, visit aka.ms/private Azure Marketplace. Thanks.